PMM Besties, talking you through the mess.
Come for the confusion, leave with your brain reset.
Oh yeah.
Hello, world.
Hello, world.
I am your favorite roadmap person. I'm Andrea. I'm a head of product marketing, currently a turtle, and I have opinions.
Very good. My name is Alicia. I am the head of marketing at Ravio, but I've been a product marketer for longer than I've had any other sense of identity.
and
we met on the internet 10 years ago.
We met on the internet 10 years ago. This is correct. We've never actually met in real life, but we're still internet friends, even though we live like an hour away from each other.
Yeah, someday this will change. Hopefully this year.
Someday. And today our opinions will be about Miro. But let's look at this.
What I look for in a good above the fold section is the balance of head and heart. And head being, what outcomes, what value can I derive from this product? And on the heart side, it's what is this feeling? And do I feel kind of seen as a buyer, as a person? And I think they do a pretty good job here, because getting from brainstorm to breakthrough matches my lived experience as a product marketer, where I'm trying to balance a million different things and kind of react to requests coming to me, but also save a little bit of my brain for like, what do I think needs to happen here? What's the bigger picture strategic work that needs to happen? And I will often brain dump into Miro before I'm ever ready to socialize an idea in my company. And so this H1 speaks to me as a person. Like, for example, at Ravio, we were a super sales-led organization when I joined. And I was like, I feel like we could really introduce a PLG flow here, and that would work for our target buyers. And so the first place I went was Miro to kind of like get to this breakthrough moment where I literally like audibly gasped. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I know what we could do here. So I like that. On the description line, collaborative AI workflows that help your team build the right thing faster. One thing I don't like is that the H1 speaks to me as a person and as a potential buyer. The description speaks to a team, but like my work in Miro is very individual. So I don't know if that's a me thing, but it's like this detachment of like, who are you talking to, and are you being consistent at every point? What do you think about that?
I agree. And what I look for is the language with which we speak to people. And maybe it's just me because I've been desensitized to AI completely. But I can tell you, if I remove this gets, what we have is an AI structure, right? From this to that. Okay, cool. And then the value proposition here is building the right thing faster. Why is faster better?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Miro. I love Miro. I always use, even if the company I'm working for is not using it, I always have my own account. So I feel like as the bias as existing users is, well, we love Miro, we know Miro.
Yeah.
The value is there for us. But if I showed this to, let's imagine somebody that's never seen Miro, there are people out there. How is faster translating to actual value? And I see this being dropped when I did the intercom breakdown. Faster was just so overused. Faster. But why faster? That said, everything else here is wonderful. Like, you've got your very clear CTA, you've got a video, you've got all these like super fun, like this I get, right? The collaboration. However, the one thing that really gets to me is why the canvas are collaborating on the canvas.
Oh.
Whose canvas?
That's true.
What is this?
It's interesting what you said about the AI structure of from this to that, because I also feel like there are examples of this predating the AI era, where it's more a tool for old world to new world.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a very kind of functional example of that. I think it'd be interesting to, I haven't really thought about that in terms of a clear AI structure. Sometimes I feel bad because I use N dashes all the time. It's just the way that I write. And I'm like, I'm not a bot.
Yeah, I love a good M dash.
It's interesting.
I also look, again, this is just me for consistency, but I look for capitalization styles.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the fact that they're using APA here. Ooh, this moves. APA
that's
here. I like that it moves, by the way,
Yeah.
but they're using the APA structure here, but then they're using sentence case here, and it just drives me insane. From
It
X
is a
to
repeat
Y.
structure. Yeah.
It's a repeat structure. What did I say?
Idea to outcome. I also think that there's more emotional weight that they can tap into here. Like when I come to Miro, I have almost like a backlog of jumbled thoughts, and I'm trying to organize them. So your challenge of like, is speed the value that really matters to this user? I would say the answer is no. It is like creating structure and the capacity for lateral unrestricted thinking, and just getting things out and like building a puzzle out of your thoughts.
Absolutely. I would 100% agree with that. We actually, we were working on our own playbooks at my company, and it was really great to be able to like see the original dump of ideas to then what it translated to. And I think that that brainstorming, that idea, the ideation, that is what Miro is really great for. But I don't think it's about doing it faster. It's about, like you said, having a place where you can start structuring that into something that then has an outcome.
Yeah.
Which I think is what this animation is meant to show us. So as we scroll down, oh, it scrolls sideways. Okay.
Let's also keep an eye out for if we find those branded terms like flow and the sidekick. I want to see where those are introduced.
Okay, so this just went from, let's look at it closely, from insights to PRD right away. Interesting. To prototype. Okay. To some diagrams, to coding. Okay, I didn't even know it could do that. Did you know that the output could be coding?
All of these instances are within Miro?
I don't know. That's what it's implying.
Oh, I thought this was like an old world situation of like, in the old world, you'd have to like put a Notion doc together and then build the thing. And
the only thing more important than moving fast is moving the needle. This is actually true.
yeah, I love this. When I was looking at this yesterday, I thought that was good. It's also like, it's the first instance where they're introducing a point of view. Like this is where they're at least taking a stance. I think it's maybe not a super provocative stance. I think, but it's an opinion that's expressed, and I think that's really important for good, memorable positioning.
Yeah, and not just that, but they're finally doing what I was hoping someone would do, which is, why is fast important? It's like,
Yeah,
well, moving is important, but it has to move the needle.
Mhm.
And we've got some interesting case studies here.
If I was the product marketer at Miro, I think if they're going to keep faster and going from, let's see if I can remember it, brainstorm to, I can't remember the H one.
Should we scroll up?
That could be a me problem.
Brainstorm to breakthrough.
Brainstorm to breakthrough, good alliteration. But if they're going to keep that and the faster, I would move that section that we just talked through of the explanation of why faster matters as almost a positioning piece at the top of the page. That's the start of the narrative where you're like, I'm going to tell you something you don't know yet. But right now it's quite varied.
Yeah, I agree. I think the narrative needs to be flipped and put this at the top, because that is the value pillar, right? That the USP is right there, is that moving fast is cool, but what actually matters is moving the needle. And you can do that by having the structured brainstorming, the canvas.
Yeah. Also, I see we've got a little cursor that says Miro AI.
Yeah. Hello. What's happening there?
Okay, wait, sorry. The social
Oh.
proof here is 2 times faster to market, 50% shorter planning process, 3.6 times faster time to market. Okay, so they're really doubling down on the speed thing. I wonder if even they've got extremely enterprise logos here. Well, in the likes of PepsiCo, and there were several others above that were like big. ASOS, not so much, but I wonder who their ICP is. Like, what's the right? Yeah.
You cut onto something really good, which is what I started with at the beginning, which is there are people out there that don't know what Miro is. Now, you and I work in B2B, so we know what it is. We are probably more of their audience, but what's the number one rule in product marketing is call out your audience, right? Make clear who your audience is. And aside from those logos here at the top, is it really telling me? Because PayPal is not B2B.
Yeah.
That's what's B2B2C. Sony also is a B2C. Ubisoft is also a B2C.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of B2B2C going on here.
And actually, the section right below this that we walked through was a
flow.
yeah.
Yeah, this flow.
That I assumed because of my world that was more B2B. But I wonder how this flow changes for not only the different kind of firmographic segments that we just saw, B2B, B2C, different industries, but like the people and the buyers within those segments, if their use cases are different and if they should be doing a better job of routing people to different contexts.
Yeah, to me, what's really missing is the clear call out to who the ICP is, who's the audience. Is it just for everybody? And I think when you get to a point that you're so big, some companies just don't really care. They stop calling it out. It's like, oh, we're so great, you can use this anyway.
And maybe they are. I mean, they're such
And
a
maybe
household name, and you're right. We're so biased because I just love them. But like, I think I wonder how much traffic coming to their website has no context of who they are. And
yeah, also 250,000 companies. That's a lot of companies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies.
Interesting.
So they are collaboration, apps and integrations, and templates. Again, I feel like this should have been higher up.
Totally. Yeah.
Because now only now am I really seeing, oh, okay, this really is about collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's getting me to faster. It's about apps and integrations. That's getting me to faster. And it's about 6,000 templates. Awesome. That's also getting me to faster. But I think they didn't really link that capability to the benefit right away.
It also reminds me of something that I have done in the past. When you have more of like a platform product and different types of buyers will want different packagings of products or modules and to achieve different outcomes, it could be interesting if they call, as you said, calling out at the top, who are we best fit for and why, and help them see themselves. Even if they have 2 or 3 at their size and maturity, they could have multiple, but you need to route them correctly. So if we're going to like an ASOS, kind of a mid-market global consumer, to PepsiCo, super massive enterprise, to B2B startups, rooting those as more solutions. Maybe they do. I'm actually curious what's under solutions, but rooting them to the right area to see like the right templates that match their context and value messaging and so on.
So they have strategic initiatives. They have industries. Okay.
Okay.
They have departments. Interesting. And they have company types.
Oh, that's a lot of information to ask potential buyers to parse through.
Yeah.
How would you think about structuring solutions?
I just want to know what the product looks like before I even get to solutions. Okay, AI Innovation Workspace. I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there. It's really, it's such a niche way of speaking that even as a Miro user, I don't know what this looks like. But okay, accelerate your workflows with AI. Okay, build the right thing faster. Okay. I don't love it. Business. There's a lot of acceleration and moving fast. It's like it's diluting the message for me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I really need to understand their taxonomy before I even get to a solution. And again, this is a lot. Like this, it's very overwhelming. It's a lot of information.
It is a lot. I could not, as myself, realistically see myself like going through like the product marketing team, the B2B SaaS thing, the startup. Like I couldn't see myself reading all that information. And clearly they're doubling down on AI positioning And I wonder how much research and validation has gone into, maybe they're sitting on a ton of research that says, yes, this is the right move. We're going to like own this terminology in this kind of category, if you couldn't really call it a category, and the market will catch up to us. That could be true. But what I don't like about AI taking up space in messaging is that just seeing AI Innovation Hub or what Workspace,
Workspace, yeah.
it's like saying diesel engine and then having all the different parts within it. It's like, that's not the point. Like, who is staying up at night being like, oh, I can't wait. I'm like, my life would be so much better if I had an AI Innovation Workspace.
Also, that could apply to literally any company. I could call Slack an AI Innovation Workspace.
Yes. Yes. So what is the outcome? And I think that is like good job security for product marketers, where you need to make sure that your messaging is speaking to the value for your ideal buyers, and AI is a means to an end and a tool that gets you there. It's not the top level message.
And we have like cheering as part of our special effects. Be like, yay!
Yeah, and I feel like I feel for product marketers, and I even feel for founders, because I understand the pressure to be perceived as adapting and surviving and being on the forefront and pioneering, but it's not in alignment with how buyers think and act, other than buyers who are given a directive from their founders to be like, go find AI tools. And then they might be like, okay, I'm going to evaluate Miro. But I really think there's going to be a correction, and people are going to kind of like chill out with this stuff. And
yeah, I mean, we know this because we're in B2B, but a lot of enterprise companies are very against AI, and they have very, very strict policies and very long procurement cycles to make sure that whatever AI you're putting forward is stable, that it's not stealing any information, that there's no copywriting issues, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. So it's just something to be hyper aware of how you present that information.
Yeah. Yeah. Great point.
Shall we move forward?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Here's our introduction to their branded terminology.
Yes.
Sidekicks, chat-based AI
Oh,
agents.
scroll sideways. Okay. And I think this is meant to be the hierarchy to their taxonomy, but because it scrolls sideways, I was very confused.
What do you mean hierarchy to their taxonomy?
So when I usually put a product together, I try to have a taxonomy. So you'll have your features and then the capabilities below them. And it'll usually start with like the first USP, the second USP, and you read them sequentially. This is all one together. So my brain, again, I'm neurospicy. This is very biased. My brain is just seeing all these beautiful colors and animations, and there's a lot of information coming at me right away, as opposed to how my brain works, which is when I read downwards, not sideways. And on a screen, please, guys, don't come at me for that sentence. It's everybody read sideways. But it feels like there's a lot happening that my brain is like, what am I looking at right now? And we're back to the law appropriation terms, innovation workspace, intelligent canvas, flows. Okay, so they only are just explaining what sidekicks and flows are, even though they call it up at the top. So this is what I mean by hierarchy, right? Is they started introducing terminology at the top, and they're only just explaining it at the bottom. So that hierarchy is also a bit off in terms of the narrative, is you're already talking about things that I don't understand, but you're explaining it at the bottom of the page. And how it moves is just a bit, I mean, the design is beautiful, but my brain cannot, this is the thing for him taking it in.
I agree. One thing I love about their homepage is that they are bringing in so much of the playful elements that makes Miro easy to love. Like they're bringing in that interactive card up top that we both went, ooh, shiny. And they've got their little cursors floating around. And
I think it plays. Oh, okay.
Is it a video?
No. So you can speak about hidden features, Miro. So remember how I was saying it's really confusing to do this because my
Yeah.
brain can't take it in, you can actually hit play and you can scroll through them.
So we've got an embedded slide deck?
We've got an embedded slide deck,
Wow.
which is very cool.
That's cool.
But that took me a minute. That was
And
not very obvious.
the
There's
second
other,
slide
there's
here,
other buttons
discover,
too.
define, and deliver. Those to me sound like potentially jobs to be done categories.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be like a dual track agile
What does that mean?
flow. Hello, product. Meet product marketing. So dual track agile is essentially, agile, right?
Yeah.
So okay. So dual track just means that you're doing it at the same time. So you've got your building and you've got your discovery track, and you're doing them consistently. So it's, instead of doing it like this, you're doing it like that.
Brilliant.
So that dual track agile just means that you're, I hate the word to say faster, but faster. But you're able to discover, define, and deliver consistently. So I think that's what they're trying to do, is to show that dual track, like double diamond way of working. It's like a product development life cycle thing.
Interesting. That's really cool.
Which, it's funny that to me, having my product brain on, that clicked, but to you, you're like, I'm not sure I get it.
No, to me, my first thought was like, oh, this is probably how they organize their kind of like value pillars of the different ways that you can get stuff done. So interesting.
One infinite multiplayer canvas. I actually like this particular sentence. It finally tells me a little bit about what I'm going to expect. Right? Multiplayer, teamwork, infinite, which means I can just keep on working and keep on working. And those are probably the things I love the most about working in Miro, is that I can collaborate if I want to. I can keep on building, right, the ideas as they come. And it's multiplayer, which is just a fun word. I feel like I'm going to use that from now on.
I do think multiplayer is great. It's
Just
a
great
playful
word.
like, yeah.
Having two nerds in the room. Yes.
We haven't talked about Zelda yet, which I think is good on
It's
it.
coming. It's coming.
Do you think that sentence though passes the so what test? Why does that matter?
No,
Why should
absolutely not. Absolutely.
Okay.
None of these pass the so what. I mean, accelerate your team with collaborative AI workflows. So what?
Why?
I think this is probably the only one that finally gets to a little bit more of what I'm looking for. Only because it tells me, okay, I have an idea, I move to a structured plan, and I'm doing it with this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Why? Because it allows me to move quickly. Of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences so far, it's not a great sentence, but it's the first one that's gotten to the so what for me.
Yeah. It's closer. Yeah, and it's good. It's human language. It's how people naturally speak. It reflects the H1 of going from idea to outcome. But I think I think all of these could take it a little bit of a layer deeper about why this matters to me as a human, as a buyer, and what it unlocks a bit. I also, one thing that I feel strongly about, but I'm also very happy to be wrong, is they are organizing these slides by features or products, not by value-led messaging. So
100%.
blueprints, formats, enterprise security. Why? Like what is this unlocking? But I'm always trying to check myself, because I always try to be value-led in my messaging, even when you're talking, especially when you're talking about product. But at what point do you just be like, here's what it is, and just kind of be like, this is the feature.
And it's fine to talk about features as long as you're creating a value chain and you have, hey, here's the capability, here's the benefit, here's the outcome, here's the business impact. But for me, that is missing here. And you're 100% right. Like, I think maybe this one's a little bit closer, but it just kind of stops. And also, also I would have been a bit more playful with the CTAs instead of learn more, read more, learn more, find more, integrate now. I mean, there's more that we can do there, again, for a company as playful as Miro.
And this just kind of pulls my brain into we're, I think over the course of this conversation, we've kind of started to understand their focus on speed as a key tenet of their positioning. I think we can still argue that doesn't need to be, that it's about clarity and focus, and a kind of like keeping you connected to an idea and seeing it through. To me, there's that whatever word that comes down
100%.
to, that is what Miro is about.
That is the value prop. It's not faster.
Yeah, and I think that that value needs to be felt in how you navigate this website. It's a lot of information, and they should be uh, helping you evaluate Miro with the same level of clarity and focus and like not distraction. Like that, whatever the opposite of distraction is, that's how it feels like to with Miro. I can go deep, and I
Yes.
think on the website, I wish
There's
there was
so
a
much
little bit
happening.
more like one message at a time,
Yes.
because that's the feeling.
Thank you for articulating what I was trying to say earlier, which is it just feels like there's a lot happening. And I am about to do something just to test for fun. What happens if,
You know what? Actually, that looks a little bit better.
this is what I was hoping to see.
Yeah.
This now I can focus on one message at a time. This is what it should be. And you still have the beautiful cards.
Yeah.
Right. And I love the animation, but this is what I would have loved to see, this structure right here.
Yeah.
Because it's not as distracting and I can focus on one message at a time.
I agree. And I really empathize with the Miro team because they're such a scaled global established brand, and they are serving a massive slice of the addressable market. And so they must feel a lot of pressure to be kind of everything to everyone. But I think when you do serve such a wide swath of the market, it's so important to signal still who you're best fit for, help the buyers to root themselves on the right journey, and to keep this even more simplified without letting that feel cluttered when you feel like you have to meet every single need of all those different use cases and value stories and all that kind of stuff. So the challenge becomes greater, but it's even more important to keep it simple.
Finally, a sentence that talks about value and benefit. That's the winner sentence, you guys.
250 apps the teams can
Stay aligned. Be
this is great. This is great.
Secure. This is it. You just need to make all of your messaging exactly like this. Exactly like this. You've got the capabilities, right? 250 apps. You've got the outcomes. Stay aligned. Productive. Business impact. Secure. Love it. It's all there.
The only nit is the way that they have, I would flip the structure of this sentence. So I always try to lead with the values so that you can do this with this. So there's just a little bit of a reorganization, but they have all the right components there.
It's all the right components are there.
Nice.
Ding. Wonderful.
Ding.
Ooh, look at that animation. That is actually really smooth. Well done.
Their animations are quite fun.
Oh, okay. This just suddenly came up. Miro for product acceleration. What is that?
Speed. Break free from tool boundaries. Break free from tool boundaries should maybe be the H1.
Yeah.
That speaks to me.
Yeah.
That meets my lived experience.
Not this, because I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
This. Love
and
it.
Also, the H1 is redundant with the video preview. It says Miro for product acceleration right below. There's no need to take up the most valuable real estate.
I hadn't even seen that yet, but yes, absolutely. Ditch this. Ship what customers actually need. Okay, in one AI workspace.
That's it. All they need is that ship what customers need in one. If you want to say AI workspace, I understand, but you could just say in like one shared collaborative environment, something like that. But yeah, that's good.
Well, that brings us to the end.
So if we could summarize what do they call it? The rose and thorn. We love that the website feels very Miro. It has lots of fun and playful elements. We liked multiplayer. We liked some of the interactive components. I liked the kind of like pageless feel of it. However, we think that the positioning and point of view could be stronger and earlier on the page. That section on going from like the only reason speed matters is if it leads to outcomes I hope
It
that
moves the needle.
moves the needle. Should be higher up. That's your point of view. There can be better routing for different ICP buyers to go straight to their world and their context and see the value proposition for them. And overall, just like focus. The feeling of Miro should be focus and allowing for creativity to spill on a page. That's the main value prop for me as a buyer that loves it in B2B startups. And so having less information for me to digest, I think, is one of the key pieces.
Yeah, for me, it would be having more of the right information, because I feel like it said a lot, but it instead used a lot of their own words, their own proper nouns, I guess, that they're trying to put out their other terminology, but they only explain the terminology like 60% down on the page.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit confusing.
Mm-hmm.
So I would introduce those concepts first, and then like just switching the order of that narrative a little bit. Yeah, for me, that the narrative is just not in the right order in a lot of places. Like you pointed out, even in the one space about integrations, like it was probably the best sentence and provided the most value, but even just the order of how that sentence structure worked, just a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I mean, 125 million points for creativity.
Mm-hmm.
It does have all those elements that we love in terms of collaboration. But yeah, I agree with you. I think for both of us, in the industry that we work in, it's really about, yeah, brainstorm to breakthrough, right? That is what it is. But I feel there's better ways, stronger ways of connecting to the buyer language.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure that the buyer understands at the end of the day that what they're getting is not faster. What they're getting is help the people in your team get those ideas out, collaborate together, and get to an outcome, get to an idea, get to whatever it is that you're trying to build together in a structured way, because that is what Miro is for. I've never thought of Miro as being able to do something faster, but definitely having a place to brain dump and collaborate and put all my research in. Like as a product marketer, when I do research, just dump it all in one place and just go, okay, how do I organize this? How do I then share it? Like you said at the beginning, like how do I share it with my company?
Yeah.
Miro is my space for that.
Yeah, completely agree. And I guess one last thought I have is I've been thinking a lot about product marketers as builders. And if I think about the common denominator of all of those different logos, and I'm assuming the buyers within those logos, the common denominator here is people are building things and taking them to market, whether that's internally and socializing with their teams of like, hey, I think we actually could run a PLG flow for our ICP, or if it's a direct to consumer retailer or Pepsi, like they're launching new things. And I think I wonder if the common denominator of identity across those different buyer audiences could be an identity of a builder. That's something I'd be curious to learn more about from the team.
Yeah. How would you rate it? Out of 10. Out of 10.
Probably 7 out of 10.
I agree. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for design and creativity.
Yeah.
Love it. Surprised at quite a few of those elements, but the copy could just do a little thing,
Yeah. And again, major empathy for them. They're trying to solve for lots of different people and lots of different needs, and that's a really hard job to do, harder than it looks on screen. But yeah, I think most buyers at the end of the day are not going to be spending an hour, however long we've been, kind of like analyzing piece by piece.
Which is,
but
exactly. I was going to say that, which is why you need to get to that value, in their own words, faster. You need to explain it faster. I don't want to have to get 60% down the page to understand what the hell an innovation workspace is. I still don't know.
Yeah. I really think it was that section with the 3 pillars of social proof that for you and I, it finally clicked what we were evaluating. And I think that was a really interesting experience. Yeah. Cool. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Bye, internet.